Hello. We're gonna talk about what I read in February and what I want to read in March. I read 20 books in February, which I'm so proud of myself. I grab the books while I'm talking, but I was in a really big reading slump for like 6 months last year, and I was so sad. I didn't really read much. Actually, I was in a reading slump for way longer than that, but for those 6 months, I didn't read anything. I was just reading like every now and then. And then I also got a boyfriend, and I was finishing up school, and there was just too much going on. I feel like once you get a boyfriend, like, you don't read no more. Which is so sad. Like, even if your boyfriend has hobbies, you barely read because it's like, oh, we're gonna go out. Or people always interrupting my video. Like I said, I have 1 million followers. Why would you just honk your horn in the background of my video? Inconsiderate people, guys. Anyways, like I was saying, not that you stop reading, but you read way less. So I was reading way less when I did have a boyfriend. And then after that, like I said, I was trying to finish school. I had 2 jobs. And so to read 20 books in a month again, I'm so very proud of myself. I got my handy dandy old little Chromebook to read some of my Goodreads because I feel like these were like my thoughts when I finished the book. Some of them are way more detailed than what I would give you right now. So yeah, if you see me reading something, that's me telling you my review. I guess I'll start with the physical books first. Read the whole Between Earth and Sky trilogy. I really enjoyed this. I did vlog myself reading this. It is my longest video and reading vlog yet, so go watch it, please. And thank you. Anyways, I really enjoyed this series. I did cry over the last book. I did put me crying in the video. So on a little bit of a different note, we have The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. This was my first book by her. I am gonna read my review because I gave it a 3.5, and I feel like a lot of people were like, Toni Morrison, a 3.5, how dare you? And I do believe it was a good book, but like I said, I'm gonna read my review for you so you can see what I thought. I said 3.5 stars, check your trigger warnings. The message she conveyed and the topics she explored were gruesome and disgusting, but raw and real. Her writing is absolutely beautiful. Then I said the structure of the story took me out of it. I was told it was a story about Pecola, an ugly black girl that wants to be white and goes through terrible atrocities. But we barely get her POV. It was told from the POV of others. Time skips for the family's history and different characters. In hindsight, it sounds interesting and an amazing way to write this, but for me, the story felt disjointed and not cohesive at times. I would have loved Pecola's POV a little more to see the descent of her mental. The structure of the story took me out of it. It didn't really feel like one set story. Like, we did get the story of her wanting to be white and yada yada yada, but we got it from other people's POV. So we were also kind of like in their mind and what they're doing and what's going on in that time. So it didn't really feel like one set story, which again isn't bad. I just felt like it was not marketed to me the wrong way, I guess. Basically, y'all tricked me. But like I said, it's okay because I really did still enjoy this book, and I feel like it gave me a good introduction to Toni Morrison's writing. When I start new authors, I am gonna start with their debut book. You're gonna see another debut book I read later, but I feel like that's the best way to go because like that's the beginning of their writing. So even if it's ass, I can read their newest book and be like, wait, I see the progression, and just have way more fun with it, you know? I love that the topics didn't feel like something she was trying to condone. For example, if she was talking about misogyny or rape, things that were accepted at that time that it was published, the way she wrote it was disgusting, but it never felt as though she was okay with it. Even if it was from the POV of the person in the story who was doing it, that just proves that this woman can write. I do have Song of Solomon, so I am probably going to read that very soon. I also have the audiobook of Beloved, so I think that's going to be next. But yeah, I'm very excited to start my Toni Morrison journey. Another debut book that I started with, My Darkest Prayer. I absolutely hated this. Like, this was booty. This isn't my worst book of the month, but it was booty for sure. I do have a whole video of me explaining on TikTok, so if I miss anything, then you can also go watch that. But there were just so many weird comments, so many weird sexual things in the first 50 pages alone. Mind you, this book is only 267 pages. He got his dick sucked in a hotel. A woman was found face down, ass up, butt booty naked. Like, she died in that position. Okay. Also, they were like, oh, the preacher's daughter looks familiar, you know. It turns out she wasn't just like the preacher's daughter. That's why she looks familiar. She looks familiar because she has like an OnlyFans, or she's like a porn star or something. That's the first 50 pages alone. That doesn't even count like everything else in this book. The audio narration was atrocious. They were having sex, and the woman said, mind you, it's a man reading it, but The way he said it was, give it to me, tame this pussy. I couldn't. Yeah, I gave this 2.5 stars, I believe. I would have just given it 2. I feel like the crime fiction aspect of it wouldn't have been bad if other stuff wasn't in it, so that's why I gave it a 2. And then I also bumped it up that half because Lover You Should Have Came Over was mentioned, and it hit my soul. They were like, oh yeah, he turned on the radio, or he was listening to the radio and Lover You Should Have Come Over came on. Almost shed a tear. So I did bump it up a little bit for that because at least the author got good music taste. Oh yeah, also the author was not funny at all. Like, the jokes that were in here were terrible. Like, the main character swore he was so funny and so sexy. Like, every woman he met just loved him so much, and they always wanted to mess with him and did it. Oh my goodness. So yeah, this book was just terrible. I did read another book by him, Razorblade Tears. Someone book faired this to me, so I was like, you know what, let me try it, y'all. Let me get into it. And I actually really liked Razorblade Tears. This was really good. Now, I didn't give it 5 stars. Book Talk is like, oh my goodness, 5 stars, best thriller you're ever gonna read, and yada yada yada. I'm not really much of a crime fiction type of person, and that's mainly what this is. I wasn't necessarily thrilled, but crime fiction with a little bit of thriller in there. I did really enjoy this though. We did get a little weird comment every now and then. Again, I did have a review up on TikTok if you did want to watch that. I found myself giggling every now and then. The story was amazing. I just felt like it was really interesting. It was heartfelt. Then we have The Falsification of African Consciousness. I did really enjoy this, but I am starting, well, I'm not starting to get into nonfiction more. I always read nonfiction, especially as a kid. I was just interested in random topics like the Salem witch trials and the Vietnam War. I don't know why I was like interested in these topics, but so this is a nonfiction book, and I was like, you know what? I don't know if I want to actually, I'm gonna lay back, y'all, okay? We getting comfortable. Don't know if I want to rate them, only because I'm rating it on the content, or am I rating it on how I feel about it? I am gonna say that I really enjoyed it though. I think if you're into psychology and you want to know more about Black person's perspective other than like W.E.B. Du Bois, although I do need to get into Du Bois more, I don't necessarily want to read the book, although it is really very short. Don't piss me off. Although it is very short, if you don't want to read it, you can watch the lectures on YouTube. Then we have Blood Slaves. This was amazing. This gave like 12 Years a Slave with like Sinners vibes. We get Black vampires, but we also get slavery. I would say check your trigger warnings, only because like if you watch 12 Years a Slave, or if you know about slavery in general, this depicts it very accurately, I would say. Yeah, I enjoyed this so much. There were some parts where I was like, it really did hurt. So it's just so crazy that it almost got a 5 star. The only reason why I didn't was because one of the like main characters, he irritated me so bad. Like never mind, I'm not even gonna say too much, but I almost dropped my laptop. Let me stop talking mess. I enjoyed the book. The last of the physical books, I believe, is Immortal Dark. I really enjoyed this. I also love these edges, but I really enjoyed this. I feel like this is one of the best YA books that I've ever read, only because the characters were not, I wouldn't say they weren't childish, because like they are still kind of children, like they're in school. I don't know if it's college or high school or what, but it's an academy. This is one of the first YA books where the main character did not irritate me. Like I wasn't rooting for them to die, basically. Suseños, he kind of fine. Take my review with a grain of salt, because the majority does say that she's irritating. The only thing that I would nitpick with the writing is that it's in third person, so like we're gonna get Kidan's name in there, but the author would be like, Kidan went to Kidan's house to get in Kidan's room to lay in Kidan's bed. Like, we know her name is Kidan. I also feel like they almost got a little spicy in here. I'm thinking this is for like the older teenagers. I don't know if I would want like my 12-year-old child reading this and he's like biting the inside of her thigh or something, you know? Like, it's getting a little freaky. I enjoyed it though. That's not the last of the physical books. I just got a book haul, and I ordered a book that I read this month, Midnight Rooms. I absolutely love this. I do have a review of it. Okay, I said wait, because I don't know if this is giving 5-star fever dream baddie with an ambiguous ending, or the author was on shrooms when she was writing this. Give me a second to ponder. I'm screaming. Wait, I actually really enjoyed this though. I don't know, I still need to ponder. Like, that's the thing about fever dream books. Like, is it really the author just didn't know what what they were doing and they were just writing shit on shrooms? Or is she really giving fever dream? Sorry guys, I got a call. I forgot where I left off at, but yeah, I really enjoyed this though. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't like this book. So if I ever say that a book is giving like fever dream, you don't know what the fuck is going on, take it with a grain of salt, because I feel like the main purpose of these books are for you to be creeped out and confused. I think that's the last of my physical books, hopefully. Now we're gonna sit back a little bit. We're gonna go with This Cursed House. Okay, I said 1.5 stars. This doesn't give the Southern Gothic horror or thriller title. It didn't feel like any of those. Just because curses in New Orleans is mentioned doesn't make it scary. Great premise, but to be honest, I think the execution was lacking. The writing was simple and anticlimactic. It felt like a YA book almost. The main character was dumb and the book was very predictable. There was a couple things that shocked me considering this does talk about colorism and family trauma. I don't think I can in good conscience give this a 3 stars, so I'll have to settle for a 2.5. I really wanted to love this book. All in all, it just didn't give horror, it didn't give thriller, it didn't necessarily give gothic. It gave Southern because they were in New Orleans, you know. But yeah, like I wasn't thrilled. I didn't feel like I was scared, or I just couldn't in good conscience say, yeah, this was good, you know. It was all right. It was all right. So I gave it a 2.5. Then we're gonna go with, I don't want to talk too much shit about books. I do really enjoy books, but Lakewood, I gave 1 star. I said nothing burger. Literally nothing happened till the end, and even the end / twist was anticlimactic. I appreciate the fact that it was about the government taking advantage of POC for their experiments, but the main character was dumb. It was barely suspenseful because the main character would be like, oh my goodness, I can't remember the last week because of the medicine that they gave me. Well, I'm gonna go back to the experiment now. Like, it would piss me off so bad. I don't necessarily think this is a spoiler because like you can't really spoil this book, because literally what the premise says, she goes to an experiment and they're taking advantage of Black people. They showed her a video and was like, she had to take a questionnaire every day. So she was watching one of the videos and it was literally a video of like a man choking her out, beating the fuck out of her. And they were like, do you remember this happening? She was like, oh my goodness, no, I don't remember this happening. Just randomly started talking about her grandma. My grandma always told me that. Girl, bye. And then she answered no on the questionnaire. And then she went back to the experiment. What are you doing? They just showed me a video of me getting my ass beat and I can't even remember it. Lord have mercy. Then I said the twist was like, oh, okay, let me pull a twist out my ass that doesn't add up. It's not even that, it's confusing, it's just ass. There's no other way to explain it without spoiling. That was the only part that I feel like is a spoiler, so I'm not gonna say that part, but I just felt like that twist was dumb because it didn't lead us anywhere. It didn't really change much. It didn't do much. It was just there. Like, it was just information that we got, basically. So yeah, I gave this 1 star. I really hated this book. Would have got a 5 star. Same thing with This Cursed House. Those are both books that I felt like could have been like the fever dream, or not even just fever dream, but just suspenseful and thrilling. They really could have gave. Lakewood could have gave Get Out, like Jordan Peele vibes. A lot of people did love this though. Always take my reviews with a grain of salt because again, we're 2 different people. You're like, wait, that still sounds interesting though, Hannah. Go read it. This is what I think about it. See, let me go to a book that I enjoyed. Monsters We Make by Corey Kenshin. A lighter note. I really enjoyed this. I love watching Corey Kenshin. I was like, he's not going to be posting anytime soon. So let me just try this manga out because obviously he put his heart and soul into it, okay? I did buy this on his website. I was looking for it on Kindle Unlimited. So if you do want like the manga on your phone or your Kindle or whatever, you have to go to like the Monsters We Make website and buy it there. It was only $2.99, so I say go for it. I really enjoyed it. I didn't write a review for it, but I did give it 4 stars. I feel like the characters, they are in school, you know, so they were a little childish. Like the main character is that cocky boy, you know. Some of the other characters, like, it just, you know what, I'm not even gonna say too much, but I feel like I want to see the characters more. That's why I didn't give it a 5 star, because I want to see like, what were you trying to make these characters give? Some of them are kind of, they did something that didn't seem like they would do that. Like, I don't know, it was just, yeah, I basically need to get to know the characters more, okay? This is making me confused. I really enjoyed it though. I mean, it hooked me from the start. I took a picture of one of the panels. T. tea. Then we have House of Hunger, which I did write a review for. This was heavy as well. The author is from Zimbabwe, and it's kind of like a autobiography. It's kind of like his life, basically. I said, wow, this is raw and vulgar, yet so beautiful. This is definitely one of those books you have to reread to fully understand. This book is dense. It's a novella with short stories, which interesting format is semi-autobiographical and at times shifted settings and events that made me confused. I often had to read aloud to fully understand. This book is definitely going to sit with me for a while until I reread. It was 8 pages. It was 80 pages. We got like little stories, but they all like had something to do with each other. I was a little confused because if we weren't shifting a story, we're in the same story, okay, the setting would like randomly shift the middle of like a paragraph. And I'm like, wait, where are we? I thought we were here. Where are we at? What's going on? This is one of those that you have to reread it to really like get into it. So maybe I just need to reread it. You don't get many Black classics that aren't mentioned from Toni Morrison or James Baldwin. So yeah, I think why not? You know, try it out. Root Work. I really enjoyed this. It's a little novella. I did give it 3 stars, but that was only because it was a novella. I feel like if this was a longer book, it would have ate so bad. But there is like a second book in the series. I think it's also a novella, but I just think you could just make this like a full book and I would have ate it up, honestly. Gothic, very southern, very southern. Like it's giving Bayou, New Orleans, St. Louis. Yes, really enjoyed, especially the way that they talk. If you listen to the audiobook, it was amazing. It is free on Audible, or it was when I read it. So if you have the subscription, then it's in that Plus catalog, baby. Definitely go get into it. And I read a bunch of Valentine's Day novellas for Valentine's Day, obviously. I'm not much of a romance reader, so I was like, you know what, let me just get these over with. I have The V-Day Getaway, Drew for Love, and Vacation. Vacation was basically just fucking an erotic love story. So if you want fucking 45 pages of fucking, they was slapping each other, and if you want that, get into it. Drew for Love, I gave it 3 stars as well. I feel like it would have been cute. It was about, you know, boyfriend taking his girlfriend out for Valentine's Day and he was planning to propose for her, whatever. But I just feel like the main like male character was so rude. Oh, they had an issue where her bag kind of got lost or something, and he's talking to the people like, bitch, if you don't find my woman's shit, I'm gonna beat the fuck out. Like, we're all human, okay? They're coming to you and telling you, hey, you know, the bag is lost and we're finding it right now, yada yada, whatever. They ended up finding it anyways, but you can be upset about that. It makes sense, you know, this is your soon-to-be fiance stuff. So, but it's like she wasn't even that mad about it, and you're cussing these people out. And when they first got to like the resort or hotel or whatever, the lady was like, oh, I can't find your name, and he was like, D-R-E, and she was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I just spelled it wrong. Why the fuck would you spell it wrong in the first place? Oh my goodness. Then The V-Day Getaway, I really enjoyed this as well. It was spicy. The man was spending all his money on her. I mean, I feel like what more could you ask for? Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan. Why is it not on here? Guys, why is Kennedy Ryan not on here? Because I literally read Can't Get Enough. Listen to the audiobook of this. I really enjoyed it. Oh yeah, it's marked as read, so what's going on? Whatever, I'm gonna figure that out later, but I really like this. I gave it a 3.5 star. I did really like the second book more, which was This Could Be Us. Now that was a 5 star. I'm not much of a romance reader though, so take that with a grain of salt, I guess. It was funny. I like the male main character. I can't really pick out anything that was bad. I just can't say it was amazing. I really like the voice actors. I feel like they depicted the characters good. But when the woman was talking, they'd be like, girl, you ain't, ooh, y'all getting into it. Like, I feel like I was talking to my family, you know, like I was having a conversation with my girls or something. So yeah, I feel like it was cute. It was nice. Goodreads don't want to put all my damn books. I hope that's it. I read 20 books, so hopefully that's 20. If I missed something. Now we're gonna get into my March TBR. I think I'm gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go through the physical books first, and then we're gonna go through books that I don't have yet. My series of the month video, I told everyone to pick between Black Sun Rising, The Daughters of Izdihar, The Poppy War for me to read for my series of the month, and a lot of people on YouTube said Daughters of Izdahar, which I agree. This book is so fitting for Women's History Month. I really loved this book when I read it, and it's only a duology, so I was like, you know what, we're gonna read The Daughters of Izdahar. And I also asked while I was on TikTok live, and a lot of people said The Poppy War. The only book that I have left in the Poppy War trilogy is the last one, which is The Burning God. I probably should have held that one up, God, but I do want to reread The Dragon Republic. But I feel like The Daughters of Izdahar is short enough, and the second book is also short enough. I also have the audios. Like, why not read 2 series this month? Or finish 2 series this month. So I will be rereading The Dragon Republic and then reading The Burning God, and then I'm also right now currently rereading The Daughters of Izdahar, and then I'm going to get into The Weavers of Alamax, I believe it's called, what the second book is called. They do have it in that $5.99 book outlet sale, so I might just be buying some more books, y'all. I might just. Don't shoot me, please don't shoot me. Oh, I'm supposed to be going to the library today. Oh, I forgot. Okay, whatever. Anyways, I do still want to read Black Sun Rising though. I am definitely gonna read this. This is like a high fantasy series similar to like Lords of the Rings and stuff like that, but it's written by a woman, and the cover is amazing. I have all 3 of the books. These are the next 2. I'm really excited to get into the series. I read the first book and I really enjoyed it. There's like dark fae in this, and they can like control your mind or something. So yeah, I'm still gonna get into the series. Just not this month, sadly. We have The Raven Scholar, which is a library book. I might actually take it back because I started this book and I was bored. I am gonna try it again though. I'm gonna try it again. We're gonna see what it gives. I feel like I would love it. It's murder mystery, it's dark academia. What more could I ask for? I don't know. Like the first chapter and I was like, oh, okay, that's it. No, I'm gonna try it again, and then we're gonna see if I DNF forever. But I really don't want to because this book is so pretty and it sounds amazing, so we'll see. Then we have Villain Actor. This is a short little manga, so I'm like, you know what, why not read volumes 1 and 2? I believe those are the ones that are out right now. And then I have the books by authors that I need to read. We have Ascendance, which was sent to me by the publisher. This is like a techno sci-fi thriller. I feel like a lot of people would love this book. Again, I talked about this book in my last book haul, so I'm not going to say too much about it. One of the main characters, or one of the POVs in here, their name is Hannah, so I feel like it's right up my alley, and I feel like it'll be up the alley of people who like Blake Crouch. And then I also have the Blood Sagas, Blood and Loyalty, which is the first book by Avery Brown. He sent this to me and I cannot wait to get into it. I love this cover. It's like Western urban fantasy, he said, with a little bit of thriller. So baby, why would I not want to read that? And we have Night Watcher. This is something about like a woman who is on like a radio station and she gets a call in, and basically the guy that calls in is stalking her or something. Like, he's coming after her basically. So it seems very thrilling. I just got it as well, so I'm really excited to read it. That's all the physical books, so we're gonna get my handy dandy notebook out. Now we have, again, we're gonna sit back now, get comfortable. Project Hail Mary and Wuthering Heights. I want to watch both of the movies, and I always read the book before I watch the movie, especially Wuthering Heights, because they're talking about Heathcliff is supposed to be black, but then I've seen someone else say that they only mentioned he was black one time and it didn't really matter in the long run. So I don't know, but if I don't get to it this month, then it is what it is. Project Hail Mary, I definitely need to read before the movie because I love sci-fi books, and I've been wanting to read this book for a long time. I know it is heavy sci-fi, but I love heavy sci-fi. So I Who Have Never Known Men, I feel like that is a perfect book to read for Women's History Month, because what do you mean you don't know men? You've never met a man. I believe that's the premise of it. But yeah, I'm really excited to get to that, and it's also very short. I might try to find it at the library. We have Beloved. I did read The Bluest Eye. Like, this is the same video. I keep forgetting. We're gonna be in the same video. So yeah, you just seen that I read The Bluest Eye, so I want to get to Beloved this month. We also have Sweet Heat, which I wanted to read last month, but I ended up not getting to it. The audio came back, so I was like, you know what, we're gonna get it done. Old Eternity, this is like a horror sci-fi book. Hackermouth, people have been raving about this book so bad, and I'm not gonna lie, I would have bought it, but it's like $20-something. And baby, most of the books that I got were, if the book ain't $10 or less, 9 times out of 10 I ain't buying it. I am gonna read it on my Kindle though. I am really excited for it. I did already read like the first chapter and it seemed really good. It's given like OG dystopian baddie. And then we have All Sinners Bleed. Oh no, I forgot a physical book. Eternal Ruin. I read Immortal Dark, so I want to read the second book. I did already start it, but yeah, okay, forgot that one. But like I was saying, All Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. I read Razor Blade Tears and I really enjoyed it. Although I didn't like My Darkest Prayer, I still want to try more of his works out just to see which one is going to be my favorite. I also have some nonfiction books, Men Who Hate Women and Invisible Women. I actually kind of want to read Men Who Hate Women and the Women Who Love Them, because that one's more like about relationships and how men treat women in their relationships, why they treat them like that. They kind of hate the woman that they're with, you know? Doro Hey Doro. I wanted to watch the anime, but then I found out that the manga was written by a woman, so I was like, give it to me now. I think that's all of my TBR that I want to read. Oh no, The Maid and the Crocodile. Y'all, see, this is too much. The Maid and the Crocodile, that's a retelling for something, baby. I forgot what the retelling was, and I honestly have not went to go look for it because I kind of want to go into it blind. I love going into books blind, and I know that I was interested in it, and that's all that I need to know. That is it. That gotta be it, y'all. It's okay, because I'm probably not gonna read all of these books anyways. My TBRs are more of like a, I hope to get to these. So I should probably say hopefuls, but I like TBR more. So yeah, let me know what books you read in February that you really loved or ones that you really hated. It's on your March TBR. I'm gonna add a book to my TBR anyway, so you might as well give me some good ones. And I'll see you guys next time.